Step 1. The crisis unfolds. Here we go again. Another government shutdown is looming, and Washington's finest are doing what they do best, pointing fingers instead of solving problems. If Congress fails to pass a funding bill by Friday, millions of federal workers will be left without pay, while essential services grind to a halt. The TSA, law enforcement, military personnel, they'll keep working but without a paycheck. Meanwhile, politicians? Oh, they'll still get paid. Of course they will. Does that sound like leadership to you? Step 2. The real-world impact. Let's talk about what this really means for the American people. National parks? Closed. Food safety inspections? Suspended. Social security services? Delayed. And the economy? Well, that takes another hit because businesses relying on government contracts will see payments frozen. But here's the kicker. While regular Americans suffer, lawmakers will continue their endless political theater, using your tax dollars as a bargaining chip. Is this incompetence or just outright negligence? Step 3. Who's to blame? Congress had months to figure this out, yet here we are, once again held hostage by a broken system. Both parties will claim victory, but at whose expense? The American taxpayer. Some politicians want you to believe that this is just the way things work. But ask yourself, if you didn't do your job, would you still get paid? The answer is obvious. Meanwhile, media outlets will spin this disaster to fit their narratives, hoping you'll forget that this entire mess is preventable. Step 4. The political circus. Now, let's talk about the real game being played here. Both sides are using the threat of a shutdown as a weapon, leveraging fear, controlling narratives, and securing political points. Democrats blame Republicans. Republicans blame Democrats, and somehow, they both manage to make you the victim. These aren't leaders. They're performers in the greatest political theater ever staged. And yet, it's you who pays the price, literally and figuratively. Step 5. What happens next? So, what now? If no deal is reached, expect federal offices to shut down, government contractors to halt operations, and uncertainty to ripple through the economy. The stock market could react, consumer confidence might dip, and once again, Washington will pretend to be surprised. The only thing predictable in this town is its incompetence. And when the dust settles, politicians will pat themselves on the back for saving us from a crisis they created. Step 6. The big question at the end of the day. You have to ask yourself, why does this keep happening? Is it just poor planning, or is it a deliberate game? Every time there's a shutdown, the same people in power stay in power, the same bureaucrats keep collecting checks, and the same political elite keep their privileges. Meanwhile, the American people are told to hang in there. How much longer are we supposed to put up with this? Step 7. Your move. America, you can't keep doing this. Government shutdowns aren't just a failure of Congress. They're a failure of the entire system. It's time to demand accountability. If politicians can't do their job, maybe they shouldn't have one. Washington needs to understand that Americans aren't just pawns in their political games. But will they ever listen? That's up to us.